Hey, and welcome back to the podcast. We're here with Khari Harper, who is a 29-year-old entrepreneur who shows regular people just like you how to become profitable business owners through boring business ownership. And Khari has a fun and exciting story about how he transitioned from corporate to owning a cleaning business. So we're going to find out about what makes him tick, why you should follow him till the ends of the earth, and what he has going on. So, Khari, glad to be talking to you.
Yes, likewise. How's everything?
Everything is fantastic, and I'm glad to be speaking to you. And so, how is everything with you? What's your passion, your focus? Why should we sit up and pay close attention to you?
I mean, honestly, it's my passion's always been helping people, and just I think that I'm one of the unique individuals inside this space who is willing to share the information of what it takes to get out of a difficult situation. Not a lot of people in this space are willing to do that or give the gems away for free. Or as we now see, like the whole Alex Ramosi thing, how he gave away all of this knowledge for free on his new webinar that he just did. And it's like, I feel like that should be something that's normal. The law of reciprocity. The more you give, the more you get in return. And I feel like it's been so forgotten about and lost along the way.
It is, and especially I think it's more important now than ever with information being so disposable. It used to be like you could almost go to every website there was, and now you see some post on social, you see some YouTube, and it's a flash in the pan, and then it's gone. And so there's something to be said about what you're talking about there of sharing your vulnerability and your struggles as well as your successes and the data. And what comes to mind is no one has talked about Eben Pagan in like 10 plus years. And this guy, he had this idea that said, move the free line, where if everyone is charging $20 or $200 for this, then that should be what you give away for free. And you've seen like Google do a really great job of that, right? With like YouTube and things like that, like the thing that everyone else is charging for, give that away for free because there's always something more that you can create. And then you build this following of people that see these results from what you gave away for free that others charge for. So I think that's very powerful. And so as far as what you teach and what you share, what is it that you give away for free that's so amazing?
So what I do now is I have a coaching program. It definitely isn't free. It's on the higher end side for sure. But what I've done is I've also created an entire free training, and I have a bunch of resources on my website for you literally to be able to look at any of my social media posts in reference to building a remote cleaning business. And you can utilize those exact steps to build a business. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to make you $1 million, but it will get you to an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month without ever needing any coaching.
Fantastic. And that sounds amazing. And so this whole remote cleaning business, what is that exactly?
So it's pretty much a regular cleaning business, but we just utilize subcontractors to do the work. So our focus is customer acquisition, customer service, and I guess cleaning coordinating, while the actual cleaners from other companies are the ones who do the cleanings for us.
That sounds amazing. And so I imagine that you're doing all the kind of local SEO and Craigslist and advertising. You acquire the leads, put them through a funnel, and then to fulfill the cleaning there, then that's when you do the subcontracting. And so how did you jump into that? We said in your bio at the beginning that you were in corporate America and you wanted to get out of that. So how did you go from point A to point B?
So I was actually, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've been one for like the last 10 years, but I decided to go back to corporate America because I had an agency. I got burned out after 2.5, 3 years. So I went back to corporate because I was like, hey, if I could create a successful agency, I could kill it in corporate. Went back to corporate. I was there for around a year. And I was just at a point where I'm like, hey, this isn't it for me. It's just, I don't want to talk badly about corporate. It's a great place. I think everyone should stay there as long as they need to, but they don't have to live there, But for me, knowing what I knew, I was like, hey, I could do more. I'm wasting my potential here. So what I decided to do one day, this is really random. I woke up one day and I posted on LinkedIn. I said, I'm going to document, and this was last year, 2022. I said, I'm going to document my journey to $1 million with a skincare business. 3 weeks later, I changed it to a cleaning business instead. So I'm documenting the journey, the build outs, everything, literally step by step. It's all being posted on LinkedIn. And then about 2 months into me building the cleaning company, I get laid off. Me being an entrepreneur, I'm kind of like, it doesn't really matter. I know how to make it work. But I was like, hey, I could go get another job And I was broke at the time when I got laid off. Like I had nothing. I had like maybe $1,000 in my bank account. I was like, I can go get another job or I can just go bet on myself. And I was like, well, I tried the job thing. That didn't work. And I was like, but cleaning, I know I can make it work. And after that, I just stayed consistent. It took off really fast. And as I was still documenting the journey and more people wanted to learn about it. So that's when I started coaching them about it. And now, yeah, great cleaning company. And we've trained over 200 employees to open up a remote cleaning business because our goal is to not have anyone quit their jobs. We just want you to understand the frameworks of business. And there's no better way to do it than operating a low risk, high reward business like a cleaning company.
I love it. Amazing. Gary Vee says, document, don't create. So instead of trying to invent things to say and motivational sayings, you just say, here's what I'm doing. Here's my process. Here's what the system I have that is forming. And then when that becomes duplicatable for others, then it's almost built in than what you teach. And that seems like a more logical flow as far as creating an offer, creating a product, creating a coaching kind of service, as far as just documenting what it is that you're doing. And also you mentioned about just how a lot of people don't really think about the stability of the instability rather of employment, right? People say they're playing it safe. They don't know if they should quit that job, but then you can be fired just like that, or you can be laid off, downsized, company sold, whatever. And so people think about how entrepreneurship is so-called high risk, but just adulting, just living is high risk. And it's way too much of a problem for people to kind of rest on their laurels and get caught in the 9 to 5. And then the salary increases, the expenses increases, and next thing you know, you're trapped for decades of your life that you won't get back. And so I agree with you that people need to pursue these dreams and build something. And so as far as you doing this documenting and this journey to $1 million, we mentioned a little bit about the consistency. So how did you stick with it? Because it would have been really easy to just like miss a day or miss a week of making these videos. Next thing you know, you're not documenting. So how do you stick to these things?
It really came down to the point of I'm the type of person who likes to build in public because it holds me accountable. And, you know, my reputation, for those of you who know me, don't know me, but as you get to know me, you begin to understand my personality. I will post everything about, not everything about my life, but a majority of things about my life because it holds me accountable to the people who believe in me, trust me, follow me. Plus, I love being able to look back from like Facebook memories or any type of memory and be like, wow, this is where I was last year. And then when, you know, maybe 10, 15 years from now, my son can go on my social media and be like, wow, my dad did all this. And these were the steps that he took. So it's a mixture of everything. It's accountability. It's wanting to like leave a legacy for my child. It's wanting to show people like, hey, this is my growth. It's not easy. You'll never see a Lambo, this, that, and the other on my social media. All you will see is me growing and me saying, hey, this is what I learned. I don't know if it's applicable to you, but at the end of the day, here was my experience. Maybe you can learn from this and not do it, or maybe you can learn from this and implement it today.
Awesome and amazing. So it seems like there's kind of the bad mindset is to think that documenting is an afterthought. Like you see these dudes like, you know, Alex Hormozy or Grant Cardone or whoever, were like, they're always putting out videos everywhere you look. Every time you open up Facebook, you just see all these posts, and it's easy to think that, well, they do this work and then the afterthought is then creating the content. But you're saying that there's like 5 or 6 reasons to create the content as you do it, because it gives you the clarity, gives you the motivation, it motivates others, even the lurkers that you don't hear from. But also there's the time travel aspect of being able to look back. And, you know, I guarantee every single person can think, okay, a random day 15 years ago, wouldn't it be great to go back and be there and relive that and talk to all these family members and friends that you've never seen since? Well, that day is today, right? And it's just 15 years from now, you look back on today. So there's kind of that time travel aspect. So that's wonderful that you want to leave that legacy and have those fun memories. And so in the spirit of the building in public and talking about the kind of dirty struggles, what kind of failures did you have, or what kind of just like missteps did you come across when you were building this business?
I think it was pretty much the things that we all go through, man. It's the spending money on a coach or a course thinking they're the right ones, and it turns out they're not a fit. It was me. I'm a father at the end of the day, so it's a lot of pressure in being a dad. You want to do things right, because it's not just your life. Yeah, I could live off ramen noodles for 3 or 4 weeks, but my 5-year-old son can't. So it's just, did I make the right decisions? It's more so of a mental game than anything, because all problems can be solved by money, your network, or just choosing to ignore it. But the mental battle, that's something that could never be ignored, because it will always come back to haunt you no matter how far you suppress it.
There's always an excuse, right? There's like if you're young, if you're in your 20s, then theoretically that's the best time to take these risks. But then you tell yourself, well, I don't have any resources, I don't know enough. And then maybe you're older in the years, and it's okay. Now you've figured out these transferable skills. Now you have some money. Now you have the network, and you say, oh well, I have a family. So there's always, or maybe like you're too old. Now it's too late. So there's always these excuses that we tell ourselves. And so is there anything specific? Like, is there any kind of mental block that either you personally like came across a lot, or that you see like as far as like the self-doubt, self-sabotages, or like any specific problem that you just see rearing its ugly head so much?
Now I don't think so. I think I've had a year, because when I did my journey to $1 million, right, the most I ever made was like $250,000 in my life. And with this new business that I started and everything, and then all my businesses combined, I did a $500,000 in 8 months. And once you do that, and you've proved everyone wrong after you got let go, and you have like the greatest comeback story when everyone thought you were down and out, and then you end up making more money than management, like that in the previous place you were working at, there's not much that could really be like, oh, I can't do this. So I think you just need to keep doing the thing over and over again, and understand you may not be good, it may not be profitable, but you will get better. And then eventually, once you get to a certain level of better, you will become paid for, where it could become your lifestyle in your life. It becomes a new minimum standard. So my mindset is, hey, I know I'm not good enough right now. How do I raise this minimum standard of my life in whatever aspect it is? So, yeah, in terms of mental blocks, I don't have any anymore. I could just have quick little doubts for 30 seconds. And then I remember I have enough undeniable proof at this point in my life to realize that there's nothing that could stop me.
That's some amazing perspective, that you have these mental tools to combat it. And there's some kind of saying that's like, well, did you really have a bad day, or did you have 5 minutes that turned into a bad day? So we have the little pings of self-doubt. It's the same thing. Are you like that the whole time, or are you just like that for 5 minutes? And do you need to bust out the proof or the evidence or the encouragement in order to just blow that away and do what it is that you really need to do? And so as far as the people that you help, the people that now you have this coaching program, and you have these people who are kind of duplicating your success, do you have any fun like case studies or success stories to share about these other people that you've been helping?
Yeah, so we have two. So we solely want to work with account executives and sales development representatives that work within the tech space, because that's where I came from. So we want to help them build businesses. So everybody within our community mainly works in tech as a full-time employee in some sort of sales team. Now we have this one guy named Ryan Bean. Awesome guy. I love him. He's been great. He's followed the journey from day one when I first opened my cleaning business. He was like, hey, I'm rooting for you from afar. This year in 2023, well, we had a conversation in February 2023. He joined my program. He had a slow start. It took him about 5 months to get on to like start his business, because corporate, he just mentally wasn't there. But from, I would say, maybe March up until now, he quit his he quit his corporate job. He's making, I don't want to put it like, we'll say revenue. His revenue is at like $25,000 a month. He just opened up a pressure washing company utilizing the same exact business model as he did for his cleaning company. and he's learning copywriting on top of it all. And this is a guy who came from just a regular SDR, which is basically an appointment setter at a tech company, getting paid a salary, and a little bit of commission, no desire to create a business. His life completely altered because this is why we have Modern Maid, the coaching program. It's not to show you how to start a cleaning business. It's to give you the tools and the confidence to start an actual business. And once you learn the frameworks of a business, you can create any business you want. You just need to learn the frameworks. And that's where we start. And then when you want to take it to these higher level, multi-5-figure levels, then we can start worrying about the ads and the this and the that. But for now, let's start simple, low risk, high reward, and then scale after you've gained the knowledge and the confidence.
You're up to some amazing things here. And especially, like you said, building that business where once you grow it, then you can kind of reuse that framework and create any other kind of business. And so what's the next step here? How does someone get started if they say, man, this coaching program, this community that you have, it sounds great. I want to look into it, investigate. What's the call to action? Where does someone go?
So pretty simple. Just reach out to me on Facebook. Khari, I was going to correct the name thing, but I was like, hey, Marty. So it's Khari Harper. And that's it. If you reach out to me on Facebook or LinkedIn, I'll be more than happy to help you get started and send you some resources. If you want to join the coaching, join the coaching. If you feel like you don't need it, we have free resources that can help you get started literally within that minute you finish watching the 30-minute training.
Fantastic. So add Khari Harper on Facebook. I'm totally okay being wrong, and we'll spell that out. That's Khari, last name Harper. Find him on Facebook, add him on Facebook, message him on Facebook, and tell him you want to know more about building that Modern Maid coaching business. And then you'll be on your way, and you'll begin a journey similar to Khari and what he jumped into. So that way you can create this legacy. You can fulfill your destiny. You can achieve satisfaction and fulfillment and happiness and all these other things, abundance, instead of just waiting for Friday, instead of waiting for the next paycheck. You can actually push yourself and be this amazing person and have this incredible future. And it all started because you found the right coach and you found the right network. And that way you can solve these problems and have this better mindset, because it's so easy to be average, to give up, to settle. And let's not do that. Let's build some amazing things. And so as we're winding down our conversation here, Khari, and as people go and find you on Facebook, do you have anything just really lasting and profound to tell us? Do you wish you'd gotten X advice 10 years ago? Do you have a favorite lesson, moral quote? What comes to mind as far as just like something real big and powerful to bring it home?
Yes, it's a quote. And it is, the sooner you begin living the life you want, the longer you have to enjoy it.
I love it. Then let's begin. And there's no time to waste. There's no time to wait. Let's go and add Khari Harper on Facebook. And it's been very nice speaking with you and getting this. I feel pumped up myself and motivated, and hearing about your story and kind of just getting some new mental stuff and some reminders about what needs to happen, and to ignore the haters, ignore the negativity, and focus on what matters. Let's get it done. I appreciate you very much.
Likewise.